I am Krystal Polite. I am actually half of Be Polite Properties. Some of you guys may know me from social media. Me and my husband are serial entrepreneurs. We have franchises. Our kids have businesses. And then we got into real estate. My husband was actually in real estate when I met him. We do this business together, hand in hand. My name is on every document. Look, I don't play them games. My signature is required.
It's a partnership.
And I stress that to you guys so you know. And I push, and you'll see it from the main stage from here. I tell everyone, if you have a husband, you have a partner. There is no person better to partner with than the person that you are laying next to in bed every single night.
Unless you need a divorce, then that's another story.
Then that's another one, you know what I'm saying?
Just say your shit ready.
Right, look, then we'll do a class on that. But I am, like I said, I am one half of Be Polite Properties. Me and my husband, we are investors. So wholesaling is a strategy of ours. We are buy and hold investors. So we wholesale to buy and hold, period. That's it. We want passive income. We want a lifestyle. So with a lifestyle, wholesaling is a job. So anyone who tells you anything different is lying to you. Wholesaling is a job, and I know because I handle the marketing for us, and it is a job. I fired my boss June 8th of last year. We fired my boss June 8th of last year. And it has been all uphill ever since, and you guys will hear a lot about that tomorrow from the main stage. Actually, and it's funny because I came in, and I was chilling right here real quick, and I looked over. Our first mentor is actually here. Tracy from Charlotte, literally our very first mentor into real estate. So that was a huge surprise for me.
So I wanna open it to you guys. Like, what is it that you feel like? Is it balance? Like, what is it that you guys are struggling with right now? Literally, like, this is an opportunity to be mentored by
Absolutely.
Krystal and I. We're not holding anything back from any of you. So go ahead.
So, family and business. Like, how in the world do you make it look?
It is hard.
She's gorgeous, right?
Listen, thank you. It is hard. And if anyone tells you it isn't, it's a lie. So that stuff when you see people floating on Instagram, look, don't believe that. If you see me in a picture with one baby right here, I'm slapping another one, and I got a contract. That's what it really looks like. But what helps me is our process. The same way you have processes for your business, you got to have a process for your life. And you have to have a cutoff point. You have to have a time where business is cut off. And it's hard when you and your husband are both in the business. Because me and my husband in the bed, and I'd be like, did you close that deal? Did that contract get signed? And he'll be like, really? And I'm like, oh, my bad. Forget about it. But no, did it? And we can go to something else. Like, you have to have a cutoff point. You have to literally have boundaries. You have to have a schedule. Your schedule will make or break you when you have kids, when you have a husband, kids, a boyfriend, a fiance. You have to have a schedule. And even with us, because when you're starting out, and I heard someone say, oh, be spontaneous, don't schedule dates. That is a lie. Me and my husband have a date night scheduled. Yep. Now, we may get a little spontaneous, which I don't know how it happens when you got a good grandmother. Prayer works, but we have a schedule. Yep. Everything is scheduled. So if you don't schedule, if you don't plan, then you plan to fail. So make sure you have a schedule down to the basketball games, the football games, the PTA meetings, everything. Our best friend is our schedule.
Yeah, so one thing, I'm like really big on self-care. One thing that Marlene taught me, she's like, you need to have a standing massage appointment and nail appointment.
You do, absolutely.
And hair. And hair.
Right.
That's actually like that good all the time. But seriously, like, you need to schedule that self-care because you will literally forget. Like, there's days that I just, like, you know, forget that I eat. So it's like, you know, now that we're, like, at this conference, we're like, oh, like, you need to go eat.
You need to go eat. So, eat something. And I'm going to tell you, my standing appointment Thursday, my husband, no. Don't call me. And I'm supposed to
unless nothing.
Right. My hair appointment is written in stone unless I'm giving birth. So.
And we done with that, right?
And I'm done. So.
Piggybacking off of that, can you give like a real life example? Working full time and you're dealing with, you know, your kids after work. What did your schedule really look like?
So, good question. What my schedule really looks like is I'm up at 6:30. And I get myself ready first. Then I wake up one kid. I get him dressed while my husband is still sleeping. Or he is huge on YouTube and podcasts. And so he's taking his time. I'm jumped up, just boom, yeah. And it's no exaggeration. My process is 30 minutes in the morning. My husband's is an hour and a half. You got to give him that hour and a half for him to prep, all that.
I mean, you don't just wake up looking that good.
Listen, and I get up, I get one kid ready, get him dressing himself. I get my next kid up, get him ready, off to school. I then come straight back. He and I do powwow on what needs to be done for the day, what needs to be contacted. I immediately hit my emails. Start replying back to people. I check in with my deal machine manager. I check in with any other transaction coordinator, acquisitions. We check in with everyone to say, hey, you know what you're supposed to be doing today? This is what we got going out. And then I literally am off and running with marketing. I handle the marketing for our business. I handle the brand management. So I'm literally in that all day that's my job. Until 12 o'clock, I go pick up my boys from school, get them home, fed. My son then have homeschooling. From there, I'm rushing him off to after school. In between that, I'm literally on the phone, back and forth with my husband or my transaction coordinator, deal machine manager, any of them. Hey, boom, get this turned on. Got another apartment, another house, do this, do that. All while funneling these kids back and forth to karate, or depending on what day it is. I get them there. I come back. At that point, I have my 1-year-old, and I'm literally back on my laptop, and I'm in my emails. I'm sending out contracts. I'm doing whatever has to be done at that point. I cut it off at 4:30, because 4:30, 5 o'clock, I try to shut it down, because then I'm doing dinner, cleaning up, asking my husband, hey, is there anything you need me to do at this point? And I get back into wife mode. And it's very important because I have to be able to take care of my family. At the end of the day, I'm doing it for them. So I literally have to make sure there's food on the table for him. There's food on the table for the kids. I'm getting laundry and picking up behind. Anyone who have kids, I swear to God, I have never swept a floor so much in my life. Hack your life as much as possible. If you can outsource as much as you can. Find someone to do your laundry. Find someone to do your cleaning. Find someone to do anything that is really not producing income for you. That's what really helps me get through. I will pay for my time back. And I tell people that all the time.
And my time's worth more than I'm paying for it.
Exactly.
So it's like the sanity and stuff. I know you asked about balancing, a corporate job. So when I started wholesaling, I did 20 deals before I got my job, right? And then I got a job at a title company because I really wanted to learn the inside of the business, paperwork and stuff. So what was a 40-hour-a-week job became like a 60, 80-hour-a-week job. So the way it works, right, is that right now to retire yourself, you probably only need 1 deal a month.
Right. Right.
That's pretty much it. So what happens is when we get into a business of any sort, we start looking at someone like Krystal or myself, right? That we have these big operations at this point. That's not how we started or retired out of our business. The way we did it was driving for dollars on the weekend. They still had their franchise. They just sold their franchises. They were working. Yeah, they were working inside of the business. So it was driving for dollars on the weekend. Like, yeah, if you have a regular job or whenever, like if you work nights, drive in the morning when you get off.
There
if
you
you
go.
Work days, drive on the way in there and drive on the way out there, you know? So there's so many things, you know, that you can do that are very cost effective if you don't have the capital to do so, which is like deal machine, driving for dollars, like that's cheap, very cheap. And it allows you, wholesaling is like the baseline for everything.
Absolutely. And learn your demographics in your area. Once I really drilled in on the demographics of where I live, our marketing shot to the roof. And it was actually a video that Max had, was it a video or a meetup? But he spoke about his wide list and then his deep list and
Niche, like deep list and wide.
Wide list. And I started doing some thinking, and I said, you know what, I gotta really learn my neighborhood. And I'm not talking about Washington Street to Jones Street. I mean, I learned the ethnicity, the age, how many children were in these households, how many people were college educated versus not, all of that. Every neighborhood, every city, and every state has this. You should be looking that up. I literally did that. I pulled a list based off of what I knew was happening in our area. All of a sudden, had it cold called. My husband was like, yo, where the hell did all these leads come from? And I said, I actually learned our neighborhood. I learned where we lived. It was something completely different, but I took that information and I flipped it. And if you're a woman in real estate and you guys are doing like direct mail or any type of marketing, put your name or a female's name on the marketing. And me and my husband tested it out. When we put his name on it, no callbacks. We switched it and put my name on it, and we blew up from that point. Make sure it's a woman or a female who's answering your phones.
Yep, and your voicemail drops. That is
absolutely.
Even if you're the male and you're the one that's gonna go on these appointments, like have a girl do these voicemail drops. Like, honestly, it's just like less abrasive, like
less threatening.
Yeah, less threatening.
And I show up to everyone. I make them think all the way up. Okay, absolutely. I will see you there at 2. I sure will. Okay. All right, John. All right. I show up right with my husband. Boop, boop. How you doing, John? How you doing? This is my.
Krystal was coming.
Right.
Krystal's husband. Nice to meet you.
Right. This is my partner. And they will call and literally he'll answer the phone, Be Polite Properties, if it gets to him. And he'll, I wanted to speak to Krystal. Well, I'm her partner. No. I wanted to speak to Krystal. Because I'm less threatening to him. So use that as an advantage as a woman. Go ahead. I saw your hand in the back. Yep. Google. So go on Google and say demographics for Cincinnati, Ohio. And if it's a small town, say, Bum East, Cleveland, it'll pull up the demographics of that entire neighborhood, and you drill down from there.
But here's my question, and this has to do with a life hack. Mm-hmm. I know I'm the best when I get in person with people. I know that I'm good at closing, negotiating, being empathetic. I'm not good at picking up the phone 500,000 times. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So should I just flip and pay for someone to call?
So I'm not plugging, okay? But Max and they did talk about Lead Gen Pro, right? So these are professional people that have been trained by them. If I was putting my money in anything, it would be there. Okay. And especially if you know that you slack in something. Now, here's the thing. If you're going to hire someone in-house, you need to do that shit yourself.
There you go. Try it first.
If you are bringing someone in-house house, right? And you're gonna have them cold call. You really need to do this yourself first,
Yep.
right? The only reason why is because you can't properly coach anyone on what they're doing wrong, how they need to shift, what kind of scripts you're putting together. You can't tell them shit. And so when you hear these calls, they're like, oh, well, what could I do better? You're like, shit, I don't know.
Yep.
So you really do need to do it yourself first, like see how people react to you, like build that rapport, and you'll come up with your own script. Max does have some scripts like through REI Rail and stuff that are super duper good, but it's like you need to know how it moves.
And then outsource that shit like I did.
Yeah.
But I would suggest everyone start with
Doing
it themselves, because I had that same fear, like serious fear of cold calling. And I practiced with my husband because I don't want to hear the word no. Like, you say no to me. I told him before we got married, we're going to be good. I just, listen, even if you want to say no, fake it. Like,
Pretend like it's, yeah.
find a workaround, like, okay, let me think about it, like, or something.
Just keep me
But I
involved.
had that fear, and then, no lie, I literally woke up, saw a video that came across my phone talking about why you don't need a VA. And it was Max's video. I said, damn. So I watched the video, and he said, you don't need a VA to do something that you won't do. That's not why you get a VA. So then I told my husband, damn, I guess I got the cold call now. I said, okay, I got my numbers. Very first call, no lie, elderly lady who kept me on the phone for about an hour. But I got that contract, and we got the appointment first. We went. My husband was like, she was like, I want $50,000. My husband kept looking at me. I was like, give it to her. And
Whatever she wants, I just want this contract.
right. He was like, oh, babe, we ain't gonna be able to move this. I said, give it to her. He was like, all right, my wife is saying give it to you. Contracted for $50,000. Then my husband was like, I don't know how we gonna market this. I called my VA. I said, listen, I want you to send out a text blast to all of our buyers in this market. She sent out a text blast to everyone in all markets. That should tell you, pick your VAs wisely. She sent out a text message to everybody. We went to the property to meet one. 3 showed up. One who was driving by was one of the biggest cash buyers in our area. He just so happened to see us there, being nosy, walked on in. One of the cash buyers who came, he walked in, didn't go anywhere. He just looked. He said, I'll take it. He was like, you ain't got to show no one else. I'll take it. Write it up. I'm going to the gym. Meet me over at the gym. No lie. Meet me at the gym. How much? What you need? What's your fee? I'll write y'all a check for that too. I'll take it. And he kept saying it so I could stop the showings. I'm gonna take it as is. Go on, write it up. Write it up. Meet me at the gym.
No one else. No one
Right,
else.
but that's just because I got over that fear. And I made 3 phone calls, and out of the 3, we got two contracts out of that. Once I got over that, I said, I'm good. I'll source this shit. Write it up. But do it first to get over it. It's nothing like having a fear. Do it first, get over it, and then move on, outsource it, and move on to something else.
So me and my husband are just starting out, and if we say we find a deal, how do we get like a contract? Like who writes the contract? Google? Like how do we?
So I think the next session, Tony Robinson is gonna go over contracts. Tony Robinson Sr. I paid a lot of money for my contracts.
Listen, attorneys are always looking to make money. Find a good one, though, that deals with wholesaling.
Yeah.
Creative real estate attorneys is what you want.
And another thing, too, is here's the thing, right? So most attorneys charge by the hour, right? So if you tell them, even though these motherfuckers got a whole template,
Right.
saving, right? If you tell them, I want a whole contract, I'm like, oh, that's going to be like 5 hours? It's not 5 hours. I'm going to bring you a template, and you change what you need to change.
Yep.
And charge me 1 hour, prorated, for 15 minutes.
And I would say wait till you have a deal before you go to them. Don't go and be like, yo, I'm about to be the next thing popping, okay? I'm about to be popping out here.
2,000, 5,000.
Right, like
like,
get a
stop
deal
spending money.
and then go to them and be like, hey, I got a deal. That way they don't charge you. Hey, I got a deal. I want you guys
Yeah, you
to.
can use, like, she's talking about, like, closing attorneys, too.
Yes.
Or, like, the title company be like, hey, I'm going to actually get a deal right now. I'm going to buy a property. sometimes, like the title company I worked at, they didn't give contracts out because it was like a liability. We actually didn't have an attorney on staff. But most of the time, if they have an attorney on staff, just be like, hey, what kind of contract do y'all like to use?
Yep.
I'm gonna close with y'all. I don't want to fuck this up.
And see, our attorney does both, so they do our title work as well. So it's a 2-for-1. Try and find someone, depending on what type of state you live in, who do both. And if you're bringing them business, they will easily give you their contract. Here you go. What date you want me to start?
Right. What day do you want to open escrow?
Open escrow on this. Make sure if you really are looking for private lenders, look in your own backyard first. So just so people know, because it kills me when I see this on like Instagram and stuff, and I see people who put, oh, we buy houses, and if you got a property, your sellers are not on Instagram. Because my shit is private, so I know they ain't on my page. They're not on, but when you see us posting and people seeing, like she said, your success and what you're doing, you're going to start attracting private money. Yep. Like my husband is the king of it, and he comes from a Ivy League background for school, so his endowment just for his high school was over $1 billion. Wow. So everybody and their mama, he has people from Microsoft, Apple, the White House who are contacting him like, hey, D, I see what you're doing, man.
Because he's like this on social media, like, hey, y'all, we just bought this fucking house right here.
For $3,000.
$20,000. It's only $20,000 in rehab. We're about to make so much fucking money.
Right, like that's
this
it.
This is literally what he says on video.
That's
and
it.
It's like, so then they're like, instantly it sparks up like,
yep.
I want to get involved,
I want that.
But I don't want to do the work.
I don't want to, that's it. So just post, not post, we buy houses. Yeah. Them ain't your sellers. All cash. Post what you're actually doing so people can see the proof is in the pudding.
And walk in a house like, hey, like we just helped this little old lady. She wanted to relocate.
Yep.
We made sure that she got taken care of. Like she about to be with her family. Testimonials. That is literally
absolutely.
That's social proof. Yeah.
Market from your personal page, or should you create a new page?
I'm a personal brand.
Yeah, so we do both. I don't from mine, because my shit is private. So I know some of y'all got some friend requests in there. I got like 300. My personal page is literally as my kids and husband. Didn't I accept you? I did? Okay.
I got you.
Remind me. My bad.
I got you. I'll get her phone, don't worry.
We do it from, my husband does it from his personal. Right, and he does it from our business. So it's basically what you feel. If you have a huge following under your personal, start with your personal because that's where your network is. And start every day with a list.
3 goals.
Like every day, like I have Evernote. So me and my husband work out of Evernote. We can share lists and stuff back and forth. But it allows us to make a list every day. I have a business list and I have a personal list. So literally for my family, everything I need to get done for my family this day. Everything I need to get done for my business this day. I have a list for everything. And even on my family, laundry, boom. It don't matter what it is.
Put it in there, it ain't gonna get done.
Exactly, and I check it off religiously, and I'm checking my list all day throughout the day because it holds me accountable for what's on it. So I tell everyone, make sure you have some type of accountability for the day. Don't worry about the year. Get through every single day with what you want to do, and you'll start to see you're starting to get more and more achieved.
I got you. 5 minutes. Oh, we done. Okay.
Oh, dang, she done cut us off.
Sorry. I thought you said 10
right,
minutes.
she said.
Sorry, y'all.
So,
But thank you guys so much.
Thank you
for
guys.
coming.